So today we are going to see about the subqueries in Meraki. Okay, so we already used some type of subqueries in the earlier classes, right? So we have subqueries like two types of subqueries. So what's the meaning of the first subquery? We will see some example. Okay, so now we have like a select department table and EMP table. Okay, now let's start from EMP. So the client is asking like and another table is like a DPT table. This is the DPT table. Now the client is asking like I need to retrieve the who is working on the Chicago. Okay, so this retrieve the employee information who is working under Chicago. Okay, so this is the requirement for that. Now, okay, so if you want to retrieve the Chicago employees from this DEPT table, okay, so now we need to use like this. First, we need to get the Chicago department information and use this department number in the employee table. Okay, so selection of DEPT where LOC equal to Chicago. Okay, CHI CHU. Okay, Chicago. See, now I'm using in the small letter. Okay, I'm not getting any data. CHICAGO. Okay, so now I need to, so I don't want to delete this information and I need to use the data as is. Okay, so simply I can go with the either upper function. So in the left side, in the right side, I can use upper function. Now the data get matched. Else I can go with a different value. So you can convert that in the lower case. So whatever the original value we have, right? So use lower function. See now we will get the data. Okay, so you can change the source type as upper or target. I mean source as the lower or target receiver uppercase. Okay, you can do either way. So your wish. Okay, now we have the Chicago information here. Okay. Now the Chicago information is 30. So Chicago, in the Chicago, like which department is working here? 30th department. So take that department information and see in this. So let's start from where DPT number equal to 30. Okay. Now we have this data, right? So if you want to get like a, so any other location as well. So what we have other locations, Dallas. Okay, now I need to retrieve the Dallas information as well. Now again, I need to check this information. Okay, now I need to check that information. Okay, and I need to get the department number and I need to use this, right? So instead of 30, I need to use like, right? So, so the department information, the location information is having in the parent table. So this ఎంప్లాయీ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఇన్ ది చైల్డ్ టేబుల్. సో ఇక్కడ ఏం జరుగుతుంది, సో మీకు ఏదైనా డిపార్ట్మెంట్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ మీకు లొకేషన్ తెలిస్తే ఆ లొకేషన్ తీసుకొని పోయి మన ఆ నెంబర్ తీసుకొని పోయి వేర్ క్లాస్ లో యూజ్ చేస్తాం. ఇన్స్టెడ్ ఆఫ్ పాసింగ్ దట్ వాల్యూస్ డైరెక్ట్లీ యూజ్ దిస్ క్వరీ, యూజ్ దిస్ క్వరీ. ఓకే, సో వెయిట్. సో ఇన్స్టెడ్ ఆఫ్ కాలమ్ వాల్యూ, సో use this query instead of column value. What are the query you are going to get that results location department number. Take that query, use this in this place. Okay. Now what the column you are going to pass the value. So you are looking for the department number, not with all columns. Okay. So if you mention like a star, you will get the error. too many values here because the where class is having only one column, you need to pass only one value. So, but you are passing like a more than one value in this place. Okay, so that's the reason you will get the error. Okay, so use the department number. So you are getting the department number information. Okay, so now the client is asking like, I need to display the, so who is working under Chicago location or Dallas location. Okay, so the client is asking either Chicago or Dallas location లో వర్క్ చేసిన ఎంప్లాయీస్ కావాలని. Okay, so now in this case, now I need to use the Chicago information as well in this where class. Now see, I'm getting the error. Single row subquery returns more than one row. Single row subquery returns more than one row. So why it is getting the error? See here, this query is getting the two different department numbers. Okay, you are using like a department number equal to, the equal to operator will check with only one value. So it cannot check with multiple values. And you cannot able to pass like a department number 20, 30. You cannot able to pass like this, right? Okay, so if you want to pass like this, so multiple values you need to check in the sense we'll go with the in operator. Okay, see here. Then you won't get the issue, right? The same way. So instead of equal to use the in operator. See, now you are not getting the any error. Okay, so the client may ask different ways. So that you need to follow, that you need to be aware of like what type of query I need to use. Okay, so now see, instead of column name, so instead of column value in the where class, if you are writing any set of query, okay, that we can call it as a subquery. Okay, or nested query. If you are writing the query inside any other queries, that we can call it as a subquery. See, if you are maintaining a nested query inside a query, we call it as a subquery. Okay, so here based on inner query results, the outer query will execute. Okay, so why I'm saying the inner query will execute. First, this query will execute. Based on this result only, the outer query will get executed. See, if the query does not have any information like now, you won't get the results because this query is returning the one. Okay, the department information not available in employee table. Okay, so in this case, so we have other type of subqueries as well. Okay, so we'll see some more example for the department number. Okay, so this is like you can able to achieve with the subquery here. So if you don't have the subquery, okay, so we can able to achieve with the joins as well using the same. You can able to achieve with the joins as well. See, so the results you are getting here. Select star from EMP to E inner join. Okay, so DBT on D data department number equal to D data department. Now we are getting the all the employee information along with the department name and department information. Now use the where class. So what the location we are looking for? Where location in Chicago, Dallas. See, you are getting that information. But you are looking for only employee information, use. Okay. So now see here. So who is not working? So the which department does not have employee? So kindly retrieve that department information on our. Okay. So now in the A department like the employees zero. So display that employee information. Okay. So now see here, the 40th department does not have employees. Okay, the 40th department does not have employees. So in this case, use like a select staff from DEPT, where DEPT number not in. Select DEPT number from EMP. So nothing is, so who is having the employee information. So ఎవరైతే ఎంప్లాయీ టేబుల్లో ఉన్నారో, so I'm taking that all the departments and I'm excluding the departments. Now what will happen? So the which employee, so which department does not have any employee, that you are going to get here. So ఏం చేస్తున్నాను, ఎంప్లాయీ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ లో ఉన్న డిపార్ట్మెంట్ నెంబర్స్ ని ఎక్స్క్లూడ్ చేస్తున్నాను by using not in. Okay, so by using not in, I'm excluding that department. So now I will get the, so who is not having any employee, that you are going to get here. If it have any employee in the employee table, that you will, so compulsory వాడి యొక్క డిపార్ట్మెంట్ కి కంపల్సరీ ఒక ఎంట్రీ అనేది ఉంటుంది. So you don't have any department number like a 40, so that you are going to get here. Okay, so now we use this query, right? So we can write the same queries like a, see, now if you don't have the joins, if you don't have the joins, the client is asking to get display the employee information along with the location. So now we don't have the joins. Now we don't have the joins, but I need to retrieve the employee information along with the location. So without join condition, you need to get the employee information along with the, is this like, okay, e dot star. Okay, now we have this query, right? So now see, I'm going to get the location information like this. Right. Select LOC from DEPT. Okay, LOC from DEPT, where we use some alias name for this as well, D. Okay, so D dot DEPT number equal to, okay, E dot DEPT number. Okay, so now mention like as a location. Now see here, we haven't used any join condition. So the table is having in the from class only one thing here. So మనం ఏంటి from class లో ఒకటే table ఇచ్చేసి. So now I'm writing this subquery. So this is like a column level subquery. Okay, this called like a column. To derive the column information, we'll use these subqueries in this way. Now if you mention like a, see, if you mention like a, so department number, so what we can say, so simply if you mention like a, if you haven't mentioned this join condition, the correlation subquery condition, see, now you will get the single row subquery returns more than one value. Sometimes you will get this error. Okay, sometimes you will get this error. So either you are missing the in operator in the where class. So whatever the nested query is having, right? The nested query is having the multiple, the nested query is returning the multiple values, maybe that the operator maybe you are using like a in or sorry equal to, the kind of thing. Okay, so or you will you forget to mention this query. So in the department table లో ఏంటి డూప్లికేట్ నెంబర్ ఉన్నాయి. సో సారీ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ టేబుల్లో డూప్లికేట్స్ లేవు కాబట్టి మీకు ఇష్యూ రావట్లేదు. Okay, so now in case if the query is having the duplicates, where see d dot DEPT number equals to d dot DEPT number. Okay, now I'm getting the data, right? So now in case my DEPT table does not have, okay, now I'm creating some dummy table. Create table DEPT1 as, let's start from DEPT. Now I'm copying the data. Now I'm copying the data from DEPT table to DEPT1 with the data along with the table creation statement. So what are the table you created here, right? How you created like a create table name, like a department number, data type, and everything. How you mentioned like while creating that, the same way I'm making as a structure. Can verify both structure will be same. Department number. So remove this one and check the everything will look same. Okay. So if you want to copy the data, you want to copy the data. Else you can say how to copy the data from one table to another table. Okay, so one table to another table. So we'll use this statement. So if you want to copy the data along with the structure, we'll use this. So I don't want to copy the data. I need to copy the structure. So in this case, simply I will go with the, now see the department table is having the data. Okay, now the same table I'm going to write. Okay, another table without. So how to copy the table without data? Without data. So now see the same query I'm going to copy here. Simply I'm adding some false condition in the where class. Okay, now see I'm selecting this data, right? So now if I mention like a where 1 equal to 1, you will get the data because this is a true condition. Now if you mention like a 1 equal to 2, you won't get the data. So you will get the error. Sorry, you won't get the data. You won't get the data for this. Okay, because it's a false condition. So the condition, whatever the condition you are mentioning, the condition is not at all satisfying with any one of the record. Okay, any one of the record. So that's the reason you are getting the null values for this. You won't get the error. Now in the same this condition. So now simply I'm making as a, so I'm copying the data from DEPT to DEPT2 table, but I'm mentioning some false condition. So whatever the query is having the results that you are going to copy from this query results with the to DEPT2 table. So ఈ queryలో ఏదైతే రిజల్ట్స్ వస్తున్నాయో ఆ రిజల్ట్స్ నేను ఈ టేబుల్ కాపీ చేస్తాను. Now the query is not at all returning any value. So ఏమవుతుంది ఆ టేబుల్లో క్రియేట్ స్టేట్మెంట్ ఏదైతే ఉందో ఆ క్రియేట్ స్టేట్మెంట్ ని ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు మేక్ ఇట్ యాస్ హియర్. Now see here the table has been created with the DEPT2. See the table structure has created, but there is no data. You can describe DEPT2. See, everything will look same. Upside table, whatever the table we have, all the table will same. Okay, so you may get the situations if you want how to take the backup of the table. So backup of the table అంటే ఏంటి? సో ఈ టేబుల్ ఎలా ఉందో సేమ్ అలానే ఇంకొక టేబుల్ ని క్రియేట్ చేసుకొని సేవ్ చేసుకో. సో ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ పర్ఫార్మింగ్ ఎనీ డిఎంఎల్ ఆపరేషన్ ఆన్ ది టేబుల్, okay, so in case if something is happen you need to roll back the data. So మీరు ఒక ఆపరేషన్ చేసేటప్పుడు సో మీకు ఒక డిఎంఎల్ ఆపరేషన్ అప్డేట్స్ ఇన్సర్ట్స్ చేయాల్సి వస్తుంది. ఆ ఇన్సర్ట్స్ అప్డేట్ జరిగేటప్పుడు సంథింగ్ ఈస్ హ్యాపెన్ ఫర్ దట్ డేటా. ఓకే, సో ఏం చేయాలి? మిస్టేక్స్ తోటి రాంగ్ అప్డేట్స్ అన్ని రాంగ్ ఇన్సర్ట్స్ అన్ని జరిగిపోయాయి. ఓల్డ్ డేటాని మీరు రివర్క్ చేసుకోవాలి, ఓల్డ్ డేటాని రివర్ట్ చేసుకోవాలి అనుకో. సో అప్పుడు ఏం జరుగుతుంది? ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యావ్ ది బ్యాకప్ యూ కెన్ delete the data from main table and push the data from backup table. Okay. In case if data is not happening here, so simply you will say DEPT1 table లో డేటా సో మిస్ మ్యాచ్ అయింది. ఓకే, సో ఇక్కడ ఏంటి మనము బ్యాకప్ టేబుల్ లో నుంచి సో నౌ I deleted the data, something is happened for my main table. Treat like I say DEPT2 is your main table. Now what I will do, so I can truncate the data. Truncate table DEPT2. Now see, my table does not have any information. So treat like I say your DEPT table as a versional table. So now I'm going to push the data in from versional table to the backup table to the main table. Insert into DEPT. Now see, the data has been inserted. Okay, so that's the reason if you are performing like a 1 or 2 updates, no need to take like always backup. Okay, so if you are performing like huge DML changes, if the data is having 100 records, at least you are updating like more than 10 records, then you need to take the update statement, backup table for that. Okay, if something has happened, you can able to roll back that. Revert. You can able to revert that. Okay, so we'll see other things. Okay, we'll see other things here. Okay, so this is like a subqueries as a column level if you want to. Okay, one second. So what we are going to see, we forget that. So we push the data in this, right? Now I'm inserting another data as well here, where DEPT number equal to 10. Now I inserted the one duplicate record in this. Okay, so ఇక్కడ నేను ఒక duplicate record insert చేశాను. So I know like I am inserting the duplicate values. Okay, so if you are the new to the system, if you don't have the access, if you don't have any idea about this query. Now if you run this instead of DEPT, so now I'm using like a DEPT2 table. Now I'm using the join condition as well here. Same thing, subquery condition గురించి I written the subquery condition as well. Okay, now see here, this query is getting the single row subquery written more than one value. So in this type of situation, so take the data. So take the data in, you can verify the data in your department table. See, there is a duplicate value you are getting here, New York. Okay, so in this place, you need to take like whatever the join condition you are mentioning here. Okay, so whatever the join condition you are mentioning, that you need to take that value. Check the, see, if the department number is having whatever the joined column we have, if the value is having the duplicate, that you will get the error. Okay, till now clear, right? Okay, so now this is one type of query. So is getting the error. You can able to delete that. So you can able to how to resolve this without deleting the duplicate. So మీరు duplicate ni delete చేసేటప్పుడు duplicate delete చేయకుండా you need to achieve with this. Okay, so now use where row num equal to and row num equal to 1. Now see here, you are not deleting the duplicate values. Simply you are getting the value. Simply what is happening here. So if the query is returning more than 1 or more than 2, more than 5, anything. So if it returning more than 1, but I'm fetching like only one value here, where row num equal to 1. See, the thing is happen like this. Select star from DEPT. Now we have this data. So now we are mentioning like where DEPT number equal to 20. You are getting like only one record. Okay. Now 10. Now you are getting like only one record. Now use the 30. Okay, sorry, we need to use the DEPT2 table. We are using like a DEPT2 table is having the duplicates. So my DPT original table is having the primary key, so I haven't created that. Okay, now see, my DPT2 table is having the two values, but I need to fetch only one value here. Okay, use like a, so and row num equals to 1. See, I'm fetching only one record. So the same code, the same type of query I'm using here. And row num equals to 1. See, the subquery is returning more than one value, but I'm fetching only one value using this condition and row num equal to 1. Okay, clear, right? So sometimes you don't have access to delete the duplicate data, but you need to verify the query is having the trouble or not. So in these situations, you can mention like a and row num equal to 1. Okay, the query won't get the duplicate for you. Okay. Now this is like a normal subquery. So we have correlated subquery. See the correlated subquery. So this is another subquery. It's a correlated subquery. So see the same query look like as a subquery. So take the okay. So now I'm retrieving like a who is working on the Chicago and Dallas locations. I'm retrieving this employee information. Okay. So now if I maintain like a see there's a normal subquery, first this query will execute based on this query. I'm going to so the outer query get execute. So first ఇక్కడ ఈ query results వచ్చిన తర్వాతే ఈ outer query execute అయ్యి దాని results అనేది display చేస్తుంది, right? Now I'm going to make this as a correlated subquery. Okay, now I'm going to make as a correlated subquery. So where now see the client is asking to see client అడుగుతున్నాడు ఏంటి అంటే సో డిపార్ట్మెంట్ వైస్ యావరేజ్ సాలరీ ఏదైతే ఉందో సో ఇఫ్ యూ సీ యావరేజ్ సాలరీ ఫర్ దిస్ 10th department look like say the 10th department average salary is how much it is. So 5,000, 7,000, 8,000 above ఉంది. So 8,000 above ఉంది అంటే so you will get like a 8,000 by 3 అంటే approximate గా 2,000 above వస్తుంది మీకు. Okay, let's see. Select average salary from EMP. So you are getting like a 2073. So in case, but I'm looking for only 10th department employees, department number equal to 10. 2916 is my average salary. The client is asking to retrieve like a who is getting the average salary. It's a greater than the average salary of their own department. అంటే ఎవరికైతే average salary కన్నా ఎక్కువ salary ఎర్న్ చేస్తున్నారో ఆ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ నేను రిట్రీవ్ చేయాలి. Okay, now see, now if I want to get this information, so what I need to perform here. So now I need to copy this inner query, this query and use. I cannot able to use salary in. So I need to use greater than symbol here. Now see, if I use that, I won't get any data because my salary information is having the different values, 800, 1200. So I don't have any point value, something like here. Now I'm looking for the who is getting the average salary of average salary కన్నా ఎక్కువ ఎర్న్ చేస్తున్న ఎంప్లాయీ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ నాకు కావాలి అండి. So use here greater than. Okay, so what is the average salary you are getting? 2073 is your average salary for each employee. So average salary ఎంత వస్తుంది 2073 rupees వస్తుంది. So I'm looking for greater than that salary employees. Okay, now see here. So select star from EMP, where salary greater than this average salary of employees. Now you are getting this. See, you can check like a 2073 కన్నా ప్రతి ఎంప్లాయీ ఎక్కువ ఉంటారు. Okay, so but I am looking for like a, so I am looking for who is getting the average salary greater than, అంటే ఏ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ కి సంబంధించిన average salary ఉందో, so the 10th department is having the average salary like a 2916. Okay, keep this as a one value. You can mention like simply group by DPT number. Okay, so mention like a DPT. I'm pinning this output. Okay, so 30th department low average salary ఎంత ఉంది 1500 above. Okay, so now if you visit like see here, now if I use this, the 30th department లో ఉన్న ఎంప్లాయీస్ ఎవరైనా ఉన్నారు, ఇక్కడ ఒకడున్నాడు. సో కానీ మన యొక్క సాలరీ ఏంటి 2850. So we have less than so 1500 కన్నా. So now see employee table లో, ఓకే 10th డిపార్ట్మెంట్ లో 3 ఎంప్లాయీస్ ఉన్నారు, 30th డిపార్ట్మెంట్ లో మనకి ఏంటి సో 6 ఎంప్లాయీస్ ఉన్నారు. 6 ఎంప్లాయీస్ లో యావరేజ్ సాలరీ ఎంత 1500 అబోవ్ ఉంది. ఓకే, సో 1500 అబోవ్ 1600 వస్తుంది 2850. సో ఈ 2 ఎంప్లాయీస్ రావాలి, కానీ నీకు యు ఆర్ గెటింగ్ లైక్ ఓన్లీ 1 ఎంప్లాయీ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ because you are not checking the department condition here. So now if you want to get these average salaries, so like you cannot able to use this query because the average salaries you cannot able to compare. So if you want to get like a maximum salary, so maximum salary ఎవరెవరు ఉన్నారు డిపార్ట్మెంట్ వైస్ maximum salary తీసుకోవాలి. Mostly use like a max up salary. So max up salary అంటే టేబుల్ లో నీకు maximum salary ఏది ఉందో అదే వాల్యూ వస్తుంది. ఇక్కడ యావరేజ్ చేసినప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది, ఇట్ ఈస్ క్యాల్కులేటింగ్ ది యావరేజ్ వాల్యూ, ఇట్ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ టు బి యాజ్ ఏ డెసిమల్ వాల్యూస్. సో నీకు ఎగ్జాక్ట్ వాల్యూ రాకుండా ఏమవుతుంది, డెసిమల్ వాల్యూస్ నీకు కరెక్ట్ వాల్యూ కాకుండా వేరే వాల్యూ ఏదో వస్తుంది. ఎందుకు యావరేజ్ అనేది యూ కెనాట్ లైక్ డిసైడ్ లైక్, సో ద యావరేజ్ ఫార్ములా లైక్ టోటల్, సో టోటల్ salary divided by number of employees. Okay, so if you see like 1, 2, 3, we have these three employees having the salary like 1, 2, 3. Now if you want to calculate the average of this, so use like 1 plus 2 plus 3. Okay, divided by 3. See the average value, so total number of values ఏదైతే ఉన్నాయో sum of that values divided by number of elements. So 3 elements ఉన్నాయి మీకు, so use that 3. So you are getting like average value as a 2. Okay, so if you mention like a 4 here, 1, 2, 4. Okay, so now see the average value is not in your list 2.3. So if you use like a select start from employee where salary in 2 అంటే 2.3 అంటే ఏదైనా వాల్యూ వస్తుందా, నీ దగ్గర ఉన్న వాల్యూ 1, 2, 4 అంటే 3 different values ఉన్నాయి. So now you are looking for the average value. If I use the in operator, you won't get any results because there is no value such value like that 2073. Right, in this case the client is asking also who is getting the greater than the average salary అన్నప్పుడు ఇది యూజ్ చేస్తాం. So now the client is asking the tricky, the thing is who is getting the average salary of their own department. So ఆ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ లో average salary ఏదైతే ఉందో ఆ దానికన్నా ఎక్కువ salary ఎవరైనా చేస్తున్నారో వాడి యొక్క ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ నాకు కావాలి అంటున్నారు. ఓకే, నౌ you need to compare. So while taking the average of salary, you need to compare that salary values. Okay, so ఏం కంపేర్ చేయాలి మనం? డిపార్ట్మెంట్ నెంబర్ వాడి నువ్వు చెక్ చేస్తున్న ఎంప్లాయీ యొక్క డిపార్ట్మెంట్ నెంబరు, నువ్వు ఇక్కడ యావరేజ్ సాలరీ తీసుకున్న డిపార్ట్మెంట్ నెంబరు రెండు ఈక్వల్ ఉన్నాయా లేవా చూడాలి. రెండు ఈక్వల్ ఉన్నాయి అంటే దాని మీనింగ్ ఏమని? సో యు ఆర్ లుకింగ్ ఫర్ దాట్ పర్టికులర్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ నెంబర్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్. సో మెన్షన్ that where, okay, so this is like a outer query, okay, mention like a O. This is like a inner query, mention like a I. You can provide a alias names your own. So నేనేంటంటే outer query, inner query అని చెప్పి నేను మీకు తెలియడానికి గురించి నేను రాశాను. ఓకే, O డాటా TPT నెంబర్ ఈక్వల్స్ టు I డాటా TPT నెంబర్. Okay, now I'm not getting any data because I'm using like a in operator here. Okay, now I need to use greater than. Now see, the 30th department, I'm getting like 2 records because the 1500 kanna above and 1600 on the 2850 2 records on it. Okay, so these type of situations you need to compare with the outer query columns with the inner query columns. This is one example. Okay, now so what we can see, let's start from EMP. ఇంకా వేరే ఎగ్జాంపుల్ అంటే most of the place will go with like this. We can use either exist operator as well. So instead of this, so if it is the maximum salary case, we'll get this max of salary group by EPT number. Okay, now we get like a 3 different salaries. So use that. Okay, use that as a, you will get this like as well. Okay, so but the correlation will require the wherever you need to compare with the outer query columns. So outer query column యొక్క వాల్యూని inner query తోటి కంపేర్ చేయాల్సిన అవసరం వచ్చినప్పుడు we'll use the correlated sub. Okay, so now the outer query will execute first. So ఈ sub queryలో ఏం జరుగుతుంది అంటే first outer query will execute here. So based on this outer query, the inner query will execute. So ఏం జరుగుతుంది అంటే, so now see 7369 యొక్క డిపార్ట్మెంట్ నెంబర్ ఏంటి 20. So the 20 is equal to average of 20. So average of 20 తోటి కంపేర్ చేస్తాం. Now if get the results, if you get that results, the inner query will execute. Okay, అంటే ఈ యొక్క ప్రతి రికార్డ్ ని the inner query లో నుంచి ప్రతి రికార్డ్ తోటి కంపేర్ చేస్తుంది. ఓకే, సో ఇక్కడ నీకు ఎన్ని రికార్డులు ఉన్నాయి? 14 రికార్డ్స్ ఉన్నాయి. So the inner query will execute 14 times. ఎందుకు? For every record, the inner query will execute 1 time. ఎందుకు? You are comparing the value with the inner query conditions. See, it checks like this. Checks the document group. Okay, so now we are taking this. EPT number. Okay, so now the first it check this is your employee information. Okay, so first it check this value. Okay, so what you are looking like salary greater than these values. Okay, salary greater than these values. Okay, so enti salary greater than 800 is greater than this 3. Check చేసేది. చెక్ చేసేటప్పుడు ఈ కండిషన్, సో వీడి 800 యొక్క సాలరీ ఎవడు 20 is equal to 30 false, 20 equal to 20 true, then it display the value 20 equal to 10 false. Okay, so it execute this query and check all the values one time. Okay, సో ఏం జరుగుతుంది, ఫస్ట్ రికార్డ్ గురించి ఈ ఇన్నర్ క్వరీ అనేది వన్ టైం ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతుంది. సెకండ్ రికార్డ్ గురించి వన్ టైం ఇట్ చెక్ ది లైక్ 30 ఈక్వల్ టు 30 ట్రూ, 30 ఈక్వల్ టు 20 ఫాల్స్, 30 ఈక్వల్ టు 10 ఫాల్స్. ఓకే, సో ఈ విధంగా ప్రతి రికార్డు గురించి ద ఇన్నర్ క్వరీ విల్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ వన్ టైం. Okay, so this is the difference of this. Okay, this is the two types of subqueries we have. Okay, this is the two types of subqueries we have. We'll use this either of these based on our requirement. Okay, so now we see the differences between the subquery and correlated subquery. Okay, difference between correlated subquery and subquery. See, the subquery, if you are maintaining a nested query inside a query, we can call it as a subquery. Okay, so here the subquery, the inner query will execute first. Inner query will execute first, then so inner query results, outer query will execute. Based on the inner query results, the outer query will execute. Outer query will execute. Okay, if you mention like a difference between subqueries and correlated. Difference between subqueries and correlated subqueries. Okay, now see the difference. Let's start from EMP where the meeting number in. And then let's copy this. Don't want to waste the time as well. Okay, so now copy this, paste it into this. See, this is like a subquery. This is like a subquery. Treat like as an example. You may see the definitely interview question on this. Okay, so within query, if you are writing any other query, we can call it as a subquery. Okay, so first it is saying like a, so here based on the inner query, see, we are maintaining the nested query. So this is called like a nested query. So what are the thing you are mentioning here? This is called nested query. Okay, nested query. Okay, so first it execute this data. First it execute this inner query and it get the results. Based on the results, the outer query will execute and display the results for you. And the inner query ikkada, it execute only one time. The inner query will executing like only one time. Inner query is executing one time. Okay, so based on this inner query results, the outer query is executing. Okay, now whereas in the outer, so correlated subquery. So whereas in the correlated subquery, now see, whereas in the correlated subquery, so first it is executing the outer query. If the query is returning like 100 rows, okay, if the query is returning like, see, if the outer query having 10 records, the inner query will execute 10 times. Now the EMP table is having 14 records. Okay, it is returning like a 14 records. The inner query will execute 14 times. Okay, the inner query will execute 14 times because you are comparing like a each and every record value with this, each and every record value with this. Okay, so this is the difference between inner query and outer query. See the performance wise. Okay, and another difference, the performance will improve in the subquery. So the performance is high in subqueries. In subqueries, the performance is high. But whereas in the correlated subquery, the performance will low because it is checking for every row one time. The condition, it is checking the multiple conditions, multiple records, any record ఉన్నాయో, it is checking with row by row operation. So ఒక్కొక్క రికార్డ్ ని కంపేర్ చేసుకుంటూ రావడం వలన it takes some time to get all the data. Okay, so అక్కడ ఏం జరుగుతుంది, ఒకటే కండిషన్ చెక్ చేసుకొని it is displaying all the records at a time. So whereas in the correlated subquery, the performance will low. Performance is low compared to the normal subquery because it checking the every row as a one time. So the inner query is executing like multiple times. So that's the reason the query will slow. Okay, so this is about the subqueries. You can able to achieve with this without using the subqueries as well, using like a join conditions. So joins features when you can able to achieve with this requirement. Okay, now we'll see with some other examples with the different tables. So don't want to use the same tables and again and again. Okay, so we'll go with this. Okay, now see, I'm creating some regions table. See, create the regions table to hold the region information for the location. So locations అనేటివి ఆ రీజన్ లో ఉంటాయి. సో ఆ రీజన్ లో ఏ లొకేషన్స్ వస్తాయి అని చెప్పి అడుగుతాం. అంటే స్టేట్ లోపల డిస్ట్రిక్ట్స్ వస్తాయి, డిస్ట్రిక్ట్స్ లోపల స్టేట్స్ కావాలి. సో అలా ఇక్కడ రీజన్స్ అనేది నీ మెయిన్ టేబుల్ అంటే పేరెంట్ టేబుల్. సో ఆ రీజన్స్ లో ఏ ఏ లొకేషన్స్ వస్తాయి, ఆ రీజన్ యొక్క నేమ్ ఏంటి అనేది, సో యు ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు మెయింటైన్ ఇన్ దిస్ ప్లేస్. ఓకే, నౌ ఐఎమ్ క్రియేటింగ్ ది రీజన్స్ టేబుల్, region ID, region name. Okay, now I'm making as a primary key for this. Okay, so now I'm creating this. Now the table has been created and I'm maintaining the country information. Okay, see, create the country table to hold the country information for customers and company locations and company locations. So ఈ రీజన్స్ తో పాటు నీ కంట్రీలో ఏ లొకేషన్స్ లో నీ కంపెనీ నీ పీపుల్ ఎవరెవరు ఉన్నారో ఆ రీజన్ యొక్క ఐడిని మెన్షన్ చేస్తావు. దట్ యు ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు మెయింటైన్ ఇన్ దిస్ ప్లేస్. సో కంట్రీస్ టేబుల్లో వీఆర్ మెయింటైనింగ్ లైక్ ఎ కంట్రీ ఐడి, ఓకే, యాజ్ ఎ నాషనల్ కన్స్ట్రైంట్. Okay, then we are maintaining like a country name, region ID. So the region ID is a foreign key of the region ID is foreign key of this table, the regions. Okay, now see other things. I'm deleting this. Okay, so I'm adding the foreign key constraint, foreign key of region ID from references of regions of region ID. అంటే I'm taking the reference of regions table లో ఉన్న region ID ని reference తీసుకుంటున్నాను. Okay, now till now you are clear, right? So we'll see some examples about this. Okay, now I'm creating the location information. Okay, create the location table to hold the address information for company departments. Okay, so now I'm creating the location information, location ID, street address, postal code city. Okay, local city name. Okay, so and use like a state province, so that I don't have idea state name I thought. Okay, then use like here, so foreign key again here. So I'm making as a primary key for the location ID. So location table lo location ID అనేది కంపల్సరీ primary key undali. So I'm taking the reference of country ID from countries table. Countries table lo nunchi country ID ni I'm taking the reference. Okay, now I'm creating this table, creating the NQ index aspect. No need. Okay, so now I'm creating this. Then I'm creating the locations. If new location is coming, like now the India has, the states has bifurcated in India, like ముందేంటి 26 కంట్రీస్ ఉన్నాయి, 26 స్టేట్స్ ఉన్నాయి. సో ఇప్పుడు నౌ వీ హ్యావ్ ది 28 స్టేట్స్. అంటే న్యూగా స్టేట్స్ అన్ని బైఫర్గేషన్ అయినప్పుడు న్యూ లొకేషన్స్ వచ్చి యాడ్ అవుతూ ఉంటాయి. సో నౌ ద ఏపీ హాస్ హావింగ్ ది డిస్ట్రిక్ట్స్ లైక్, సో మోర్ దాన్ 20 డిస్ట్రిక్ట్స్ అయిపోయినాయి. అంటే న్యూ లొకేషన్ ఆ డిస్ట్రిక్ట్ ఒక ఐడి అనేది చేంజ్ అవుతూ ఉంటుంది. సో టు మెయింటైన్ ది న్యూ లొకేషన్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్, సో to generate that sequence number automatically. So I am creating some sequence. So this you don't have idea. So if people does not use the sequence till now. So simply I'm mentioning that sequence and maintaining the department details. Okay. So for that I'm creating this. See in the department table, the having the relation with the, okay. So locations, location ID. So department table lo kuda I'm maintaining the location information to get the department in which location it is. Okay, so for this having the sequence, then I'm maintaining the jobs table. The jobs will maintain the, see, create the jobs table to hold the different names of jobs role within the company. So a company lo ఏమేం జాబ్స్ ఉన్నాయో ఆ జాబ్ యొక్క ఐడి ఏంటి, సో వాడి యొక్క మినిమం సాలరీ ఏంటి, మాక్సిమం సాలరీ ఏంటి, సో ఇలాంటి ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ మెయింటైన్ చేయడానికి గురించి. సో ఐఎమ్ యూసింగ్ దిస్ టేబుల్స్, జాబ్ టేబుల్. దెన్ సో జాబ్ ఏ జాబ్స్ కేటగిరీస్ ఉన్నాయో ఆ జాబ్ లో ఎవరిని హైర్ చేసుకోవాలి, సో అలాంటి ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్, ఎంప్లాయీ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ మెయింటైన్ చేయడానికి గురించి ఐఎమ్ యూసింగ్ దిస్ ఎంప్లాయీ టైప్. ఎంప్లాయీ నేమ్ ఏంటి, ఎంప్లాయీ ఐడి ఏంటి, ఫస్ట్ నేమ్ లాస్ట్ నేమ్, ఓకే, ఈమెయిల్ ఐడి. Okay, so what are the things we have? Phone number, hire date, job ID, salary, commission. Okay, department ID, ఏ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ లో హైర్ చేసుకున్నాం. So we want to get this type of information. We'll use this things. Okay, then employee table lo employee ID is the primary key for you. Okay, so now see what are the foreign key references we have. So employee table lo department ID ni ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ షేర్ చేయాలి. సో ఆ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ నేను హైర్ చేసుకునేటప్పుడు ఎంప్లాయీ ఏ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ రిలేటెడ్, అంటే ఐటీ డిపార్ట్మెంటా, నాన్ ఐటీ డిపార్ట్మెంటా, సో ఇలాంటి ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఏదైనా కావచ్చు, మీరు హైర్ చేసుకునేటప్పుడు ఆ రిలేటెడ్ ఏ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ అనేది నువ్వు రెఫరెన్స్ తీసుకొని చేసుకోవాలి. సో దాని గురించి అని చెప్పి, సో డిపార్ట్మెంట్స్ ఆఫ్ లో నుంచి డిపార్ట్మెంట్ ఐడిని రెఫరెన్స్ తీసుకుంటున్నాను. జాబ్ లో ఆ జాన్ యొక్క జాబ్ ఐడి ఏంటి అనేది, సో సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఇంజనీర్, సీనియర్ సాఫ్ట్వేర్, కన్సల్టెంట్, సో ఏదైనా కావచ్చు, ఆ జాబ్ యొక్క ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ వాని యొక్క ఐడి ఏంటి అనేది ఇక్కడ మెన్షన్ చేస్తాం. ఓకే, దెన్ మేనేజర్. సో మేనేజర్ అనేది ఏంటి, సో ఎంప్లాయీ టేబుల్లోనే, సో ఐఎమ్ టేకింగ్ ద రెఫరెన్స్ ఆఫ్ ది సేమ్ టేబుల్, ఐఎమ్ నాట్ టేకింగ్ విత్ డిఫరెంట్ టేబుల్. సో వై ఐఎమ్ సేయింగ్ హియర్, సో ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు see the things in the EMP table. Now see, this is your EMP table. So we have like 14 employees here. Okay, so 14 employees lo everyone is working some under another member. So 7369 is working under 7902. 7902 Ford. So Ford is also working under 7566. 7566 evodu Jones. So Jones is also working under 7839. 7839 evodu 7839 is the king, is the CEO. Ante so every employee is working under the CEO. అంటే నీకు మేనేజర్ అంటే మేనేజర్ కి మేనేజర్ ఉన్నాడు, రైట్? సో నౌ యు ఆర్ లుకింగ్ టు ఫెచ్ ది, సో ఏం చేయాలి? సో నౌ ఐ కెనాట్ ఏబుల్ టు ప్రొవైడ్ ది మేనేజర్ ఐడి యాస్ ఏ లైక్ 1 2 3. ఎందుకు? సో ఇఫ్ ఐ వాంట్ టు వర్క్ విత్ సమ్ అదర్ ఎంప్లాయీ ఇన్ ది డౌన్ ఆఫ్ ది సమ్ అదర్ ఎంప్లాయీ, అంటే నేను వేరే ఎంప్లాయీ ఆయనతో పాటు వర్క్ చేయాలి అంటే, సో హీ మస్ట్ బి సేమ్ ఎంప్లాయీ. సో హీ మస్ట్ బి అవర్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ ఎంప్లాయీ. సో వాడు కంపల్సరీ మన ఆర్గనైజేషన్ లో ఉన్న ఎంప్లాయీ అయి ఉండాలి. అర్థమవుతుందా? సో నౌ సో ఐ నీడ్ టు టేక్ ద రెఫరెన్స్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ ఎంప్లాయీ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ ది సేమ్ టైప్. సో ఫారిన్ కీని యూ కెన్ ఏబుల్ టు టేక్ ద రెఫరెన్స్ ఆఫ్ ఫారిన్ కీ ఏం చేస్తుంది, it is easy to build the relation of the two tables, right? Now, the foreign key is also taking the reference or relation between of the same table itself. Self join and ఎలా వస్తుంది మనకి? So self join ఏం చేస్తాం మనం? So same table ni if you are using like a join with the same table itself, then we can call it as a self join. So reference ఇచ్చేటప్పుడు same table లో కూడా no reference అనేది maintain చేయొచ్చు. Now see, the thing is we already maintained here. See, the constraint name, foreign key of manager ID. Foreign key of manager ID. So దేని నుంచి తీసుకుంటున్నాం? References of employees. References of employees. మీ టేబుల్ ఏదైతే ఉందో అదే టేబుల్ నే you are taking the reference here. Okay, so you can able to build the foreign key of the same table itself. That's what I am going to say here. Then you can mention this. Okay, now I mentioned the department of foreign key references here for employee. Okay, now see, the employee IDs is automatically generated. Okay, the sequences will see. So we are seeing like sequences here, right? Sequences అనేటివి ఏంటి అంటే, so now the sequences will help you to generate some automatic sequence numbers, the system itself. So మీరు ఒక వాల్యూని ఒక ఎంప్లాయీ న్యూగా ఒక ఎంప్లాయీ హైర్ చేసుకున్నారనుకో హెచ్ఆర్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్, సో వాడికి ఎంప్లాయీ ఐడి అనేది హెచ్ఆర్ మాన్యువల్ గా జనరేట్ చేయరు. సిస్టమ్ ఏదైతే అకౌంట్ నెంబర్ ఎంప్లాయీ ఐడి జనరేట్ చేస్తారో అదే ఎంప్లాయీ ఐడిని those people will fill in the application form. So treat like I say you are a bank application form తీసుకుంటూ, bank application form తీసుకున్నప్పుడు you will fill all the details in the application form except account number. Okay, account number ఏంటి? After the banker is going to insert all the data, so మీ data insert చేసిన తర్వాత the system is going to generate some account number. The system, the account number is going to make it in the application form. అర్థమవుతుందా? ద బ్యాంకర్ సిస్టమ్ జనరేట్ చేసిన అకౌంట్ నెంబర్ ని ఇస్తున్నాడు. ఎలా చేస్తుంది అంటే బ్యాక్ ఎండ్ లో వీఆర్ యూజింగ్ దిస్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ సీక్వెన్సెస్ అట్ ది బ్యాక్ ఎండ్. ఇఫ్ సమ్మన్ ఈస్ ట్రైంగ్ టు ఇన్సర్ట్ ది న్యూ వాల్యూస్, ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు జనరేట్ ది అకౌంట్ నెంబర్ ఫర్ దట్ ఎంప్లాయీ, దట్ కస్టమర్. ద సేమ్ వే ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ ఇన్సర్టింగ్ ది ఎంప్లాయీ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్, ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు ఇన్సర్ట్ ది ఎంప్లాయీ ఐడి ఫర్ దట్. ఓకే, సో దిస్ ఈస్ ది ఎంప్లాయీ సీక్వెన్స్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్. Then job history. Okay, so create the job history table to hold the history of jobs. Okay, so employees, so now you are working in this as a software engineer. You left the organization and came back after 2-3 years. Ante, so I need to maintain your history. I need to maintain your history in a table. Okay, so to maintain the job history of the employees have held in the past. అంటే మీరు ఫస్ట్ అసిస్టెంట్ సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఇంజనీర్ జాయిన్ అవ్వచ్చు, లేటర్ ఒక 1 or 2 years తర్వాత యూ గెట్ ద ప్రమోషన్. దట్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఐ నీడ్ టు మెయింటైన్. సో జాబ్ హిస్టరీ, మీరు ఏ పొజిషన్ నుంచి టిల్ ఏ గ్రేడ్ వరకు మీరు వచ్చారు, సో అలాంటి ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ అంతా మెయింటైన్ చేయడానికి గురించి, సో ఐ మెయింటైనింగ్ ది జాబ్ హిస్టరీ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఇన్ దిస్ టేబుల్. Okay, so what are the things is required and which table I need to take the reference, that I am already taken. So now see, so this is the another topic. Okay, I don't want to use this for now. Okay, now I'm inserting the regions. Okay, so now I'm inserting the regions data. Okay, now see the regions is having like a multiple regions, like a Middle East, Asia, Europe. Now I have inserted the regions information. Let's start from the regions. Now see, we have 4 regions. Okay, so America, Europe, Asia, so Middle East and Africa. Right now, I'm inserting the country's information. I'm inserting the country's information. So you may see like multiple countries. So what are the countries I'm getting that I'm inserting here? Countries. So we have like a 25 countries. 25 countries I have inserted here. So every country, they have the region IDs. So the region IDs, CND compulsory. So we have 4 regions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 regions. Okay, so now see here. So 1 and 2, 3, 4. We have 4 regions. 4 regions is having all the countries. So ఈ 4 regions లోని countries insert చేశాను. Now I am trying to insert that as a another regions like నా దగ్గర లేని region లో నేను I'm trying to insert the data. So I'm mentioning like as a 5. The country is India. See, one second, you are getting like an inequal constraint violated. Okay, so maybe the country is already present. Okay, I'm mentioning like a directly. Now see here, the integrity constraint is violated, parent key not found. So if I am trying to insert like any new country, so ఆ కంట్రీ యొక్క ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ నా నా అంటే నా లిమిట్ లో లేని రీజన్స్ లో నేను ఐఎమ్ ట్రైంగ్ టు ఇన్సర్ట్. అర్థమవుతుందా? సో నీ బౌండరీలోనే మీరు ఇన్సర్ట్ చేసుకోవాలి డేటా. నీ బౌండరీ అంటే వాట్ ఆర్ ద డేటా వీ హ్యావ్ ఇన్ ద పేరెంట్ టేబుల్. So the list of values you need to use. So if you are trying to use other than that value, you cannot able to use. Okay. So this is another things. So you already explained in the constraints concept, but still I am giving this all the things. Okay. Now location details. So for every location, they have some. The location is ID starting with 1000. Okay. Now I created these tables and see the data in the location tables. So I'm removing this all things. Extra from locations. Okay. So we have this many locations and we have the country information. Countries. Then we'll see the regions. So analyze this table information. Okay, analyze this table informations. Now we inserted the data. I'm disabling the foreign key constraint. Okay, and I'm inserting like departments. So what are the departments we have that I'm inserting here? Okay, now I have inserted. I'm inserting the job category, job informations. Then I'm inserting the employee information. So I already requested to create some of the table from your end. So if did anyone perform that? చేశారా ఎవరన్నా రెస్పాండ్ అవ్వండి ఎవరొకరు.
చేశాను సార్.
ఏ డొమైన్ చేశారండి?
సారీ సార్.
దేని రిలేటెడ్ చేశారండి టేబుల్స్? Okay, till now I've inserted the data and I have committed the information as well. This is your employee table and using here select staff of employees. Now we are seeing the data here. Then job history. Okay, I created that. I'm enabling my foreign key values. Okay, foreign key constraint enable చేసుకుంటున్నాను. Okay, and have committed this. Now I'm creating some indexes for that. So the indexes will improve the performance. So that I'm going to give by tomorrow. Okay, till now it happened. Okay, it's done till now. So we have the data. So we have the what are the tables we are created here. See, if you want to see like what the table we created today. Okay, so what are the table we created today that you can see in select star from user underscore tables is the meta object. User underscore tables is the meta object. Okay, see like a created time. Sorry, user underscore objects, not the table. Okay, see in this place as a created is the column name. Sort the data. Sort the data. So 28th April. So 28th April today. So if you see the indexes has created here and the table has created here. Okay, so we are looking for only the tables. Okay, so where object type equal to object underscore type equals to table. Okay, and sort the data and sort order by created descending. Okay, so these are the tables we created. These are the tables. Okay, so we already having the locations, countries, regions, employees, and we don't have the jobs and the job histories. And we have the departments as well. Job history. Select star from jobs. And we have the department is the another table is the final table. We created 6 tables. Sorry, 7 tables we created, 7 tables is present here. Okay, see here, now we need to check the relation. So the regions is having the data. So now I need to display like, so who is working under which region? Which employee is working under which region? So now if you want to display like an employee information here, right? So you don't have region ID information here. If you have the region ID information, you will take like a directly, so select staff employees. You don't have a region information, region ID in this place, right? మీకేంటి రీజన్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఎక్కడుంది మనకి రీజన్స్ టేబుల్లో యూ హ్యావ్ ది రీజన్ ఐడి అండ్ రీజన్ నేమ్. ఓకే, సో కానీ ఈ ఎంప్లాయీ ఎక్కడ వర్క్ చేస్తున్నారో తెలియాలి. సో ఎంప్లాయీ ఎక్కడ వర్క్ చేస్తున్నారో తెలియాలి అంటే ఫస్ట్ యూ నీడ్ టు నో ది so you need to know the department on which department he is working. Okay, on which department he is working. if you know that particular department and you get to know on which the department is located in which location, that you will get to know in this place. Take that location ID and go to the location table. See, now we are looking for, see, where employee ID equal to 100. So ఈ 100 ఎంప్లాయీ ఏ రీజన్ లో వర్క్ చేస్తున్నారో తెలుసుకోవాలి మనం. Okay, now so this is the way you need to work in the any environment. So if you are in the office environment, if you are in the personal environment, so but you need to work in this way. So now మనకేంటి ఈ స్టీవెన్ అనేవాడు ఎక్కడ వర్క్ చేస్తున్నాడు, ఏ రీజన్ లో వర్క్ చేస్తున్నారో తెలుసుకో. I need to know. So he's working on which region. Now see, this is your employee information. Okay, now take this employee information and find out the employee table యొక్క foreign కి ఏమన్నా రిలేషన్స్ ఉన్నాయా. సో ఎంప్లాయీకి the employee table is going to take the reference of any other persons. అంటే so take this employee table. Okay, describe that, open declaration, go to the constraints, go to the constraints. Okay, the foreign key is having only one foreign key here, and job is also one of the foreign key. Manager ID is also one of the foreign key. Now see, take the department table. So department ID is having that. So every reference is తీసుకుంటున్నాం, department table ni reference తీసుకుంటున్నాం. Department table లో ఉన్న department ID ni you are taking the reference. Okay, now see, the department ID is 90. Take the, so where department ID equals to 90. Now consider this. This table is having any foreign key relations. దీన్ని ఎవడన్నా, so you are taking the reference of this any table for this. అంటే దీన్ని పేరెంట్ ఎవడన్నా ఉన్నాడా చెక్ చేయాలి. Okay, now again declare this, open declaration. Okay, now see the foreign key, F key. So foreign key for which column? Location ID. For location ID ఎవరిని రెఫరెన్స్ తీసుకుంటున్నాం ఇక్కడ? See, the reference table is locations. Locations లో ఉన్న టేబుల్ ని, లొకేషన్ లో ఉన్న కాలం ని రెఫరెన్స్ తీసుకుంటున్నాం. సో కన్సిడర్ దిస్. See, select star from locations. Okay, so the department location ID is 1700, where location ID equals to now the location is related to which country. Now see, there is no other columns, so you can go to the, again the location table is having any references. See, again you can go with the countries table. The countries table is having the relation here. Okay, now see, take this country and go to the countries table. Countries table. So where country equal to the country ID equals to US. US. Okay, United States of America. Now see here is having the region ID. Take this region ID and go to the regions table and get the region name here. The region name is America. Right? So if you want to dig the data like this, so if you want to get to know like so the employee is working on the which region, so you need to do this all the things if you want to get this information. So you cannot able to write like one by one, right? So try to use the joins for this. So now we have the employee information, right? Now we have the employees table. So now you are looking for this particular employees. Okay, so take like who is working on the which things. Okay, employee departments, right? Then use the employee Okay, so use employees comma dpt d. Okay, where now we have like a department ID information. Now, so what the data we have, check here. So E dot department number equal to D dot department number. Okay, now what the thing we have here, what the things we have, department ID, manager ID, and we have the location ID. So then use the join with location table. Then use the joins with location table, location L. Okay, so then use the join here again. Okay, D dot location ID equal to L dot location ID. Okay, so now we are getting this data. Okay, now we have the location information. Now we have the location information. Now in this location information, you have the country information. Now take the country as a reference. So country as the join. Okay, C and D. Okay, and use the join for this as well. Okay, L dot country ID equals to L dot country ID equals to what we have, CNT country dot country ID. Now we have this. Okay, then the country table is having the relation with regions table. Use this regions table as well as a R. Okay, now and CNT dot region ID equals to R data region. Now see, the every employee is having the region name at the end of. Now see, it's not only for the America. So we have all the regions, Europe, Americas, anything. Okay, so now take the required columns for you. Now you are looking for only employee information along with region name, right? Use like a or dot star. So I'm not mentioning like only region name. So employee information along with the region ID, region name. Okay, so now there is no relation between employee table and region table. But if you want to build that relation, if you want to get the data, required data, you need to gather like what are the tables is required in between. You need to join them. So ఇప్పుడు నీకు so if you see in the political election time లో చూస్తే ఇప్పుడు ఆయన so if you see like opposition having the two persons, so oppositions ని two క్లబ్ చేయాలి అంటే సో మిడిల్ లో వాళ్ళ రిలేషన్స్ తో ఎవరెవరు ఉన్నారో వాళ్ళందరినీ క్లబ్ చేసుకుంటూ వచ్చి యూ కెన్ క్లబ్ ది టూ పీపుల్. జరుగుతుందా? సో అలానే ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు గెట్ దిస్ టూ అపోనెంట్ యాస్ ఎ వన్ డేటా, మిడిల్ లో ఎవరైతే ఉన్నారో ఆ మిడిల్ లో ఉన్న పర్సన్స్ అందరినీ క్లబ్ చేసుకుంటూ again I need to use these two members as a one member. అర్థమైందా? So this is the like examples for you to practice. So I've given these examples and we are going to start with the views by tomorrow. Okay, so mostly we can try to spend more time on Friday with like a 3 hours or 2 hours. We can complete the SQL. We can try to complete. So we left with